Pete Wishart.
Mr Deputy Speaker, and can congratulate most warmly the honourable gentleman for Gateshead Central and Wickham. That was a tour de force out of his constituency, and I will absolutely be certain that he will be a passionate advocate on behalf of his constituents. The only thing we sort of missed was the opportunity for him to sing. When we get the all-party music group together, we'll give him that opportunity, and the House will be able to revel in his talents on that front. Mr Deputy Speaker, I'm absolutely delighted that the Speaker, in his infinite wisdom, has decided to select our amendment this evening for a vote on the two-child benefit cap. It is absolutely right that this House makes a decision on this very pressing issue. And this is their early test for them. It's an early test for their commitment to take on the scourge of child poverty across the United Kingdom. We've just had new figures from the House of Commons Library. They're shocking. Absolutely shocking, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'm not going to pick on the new Labour members because they're all new and they're all finding their feet. But what this does to our nation is absolutely and utterly appalling. 87,100 children in Scotland are impacted by this cap. I don't know if any of them represent Glasgow constituencies. Let's just have a look at Glasgow. 4,500 households who are being impacted by this two-child benefit. So this is their first big test. We know Scottish Labour oppose this cap. We've heard their leader talk passionately about making sure it's done away. You've got to vote tonight to show that. So this is an early challenge for the honourable gentlemen and ladies who now represent Scottish constituencies. Now, it's a very much changed House, Mr Deputy Speaker, coming back here, and I congratulate the Labour government on its stunning victory, quite a stunning victory. And I also want to congratulate my new Labour colleagues for their victories across Scotland. And I really hope they enjoy being an MP and the experience that this offers in this House representing our wonderful nation in these green benches. But they'll know by bitter experience from 2015 that tides go in and tides come out. The only thing that seems to be constant in Scottish politics, Mr Deputy Speaker, is that there always will be a Member of Parliament from the Scottish National Party representing Perthshire in Scotland. And I want to thank the people of Perth and Kinrossshire for returning me for a record 7th time in 23 years. I promise that I will serve them as I have served all my constituents in the past 23 years standing on these benches. Now, immigration is the subject of the day. This is important. This is big stuff. This is really important that they get this right. I'm not encouraged by what I've heard so far. I'm not really sure and certain that Labour really know what they want to do when it comes to immigration. I've heard lots of tough talk, the strong language, deportations, enforcement, getting people out of this country. What I want to hear about is the experience of these people who come to our country in appalling destitution and poverty, who have lived through some of the most unimaginable experiences, who are real living beings, who don't want the scapegoating language that's been deployed in the past. Think about them. Explain to us the safe and legal routes, how people could get to this country. Open up a way where citizenship could be acquired. Let's be creative, for goodness sake. Let's have some of these asylum seekers working. Why is it right that they have been left unattended for so long? Surely a new Labour government could start to get into that sort of territory, but I am not encouraged by what I've heard thus far from the Labour Party. We don't want a Tory hostile environment replaced by a Labour hostile environment, and we need to see a better understanding and empathy about the plight of people who are leaving war zones, devastated, traumatised about what has happened to them here. What we want to hear, Mr Deputy Speaker, is a proper, thought-out, pragmatic approach to immigration that finally acknowledges the value of immigration, that has humanity and common decency at its core. That is not too much to ask from a Labour government. And in Scotland, this is a priority for us. We are the only part of the United Kingdom whose population is predicted to fall. By 2033, our population will be starting to be in decline. what will happen is that we will have a smaller working base of people expected to support a non-active, ageing population. And that brings a whole series of issues and difficulties for us, particularly economic issues. And this has to be addressed. And also when it comes to making sure that our public services are staffed, such as a situation and condition, that if every school leaver went into social care in Scotland next year, there still would be enough people to cover the places that are required. So what we need to hear is a solution. Now, we were starting to get there, and I was encouraged during the general election campaign. They were actually talking about a Scottish visa. That is the Rolls-Royce gold standard of what we require. It happens in nations all across the world without issue, without any difficulty. It can happen here. We have our own political jurisdictions in the United Kingdom. We even have our own tax code to ensure that that can happen. And they've done it before. The Fresh Talent Initiative. I was in this House when that was delivered by the previous Labour government, and it worked. I cheered them on when this was delivered, and it's something that they could do. So if the honourable gentlemen and ladies want to go off to the Home Office to demand a solution to our very real difficulties and problems, we will cheer them on. We will hold their jackets as they go and do something in the Home Office, but something they must do, because this is a pressing issue for our Scottish economy. And I just want to say ever so gently to the Conservative Party, for the last couple of years we've had such a degree of rubbish by them. Now, what they've been trying to tell us is that people wouldn't come to Scotland from the rest of the United Kingdom. They wouldn't come because apparently they were put off by our lower council tax, our lower house prices, our free tuition, our free prescription charges, all the things that we get in Scotland. But the thing that they said most about all was because we'd asked people to pay just a few more pounds in income tax, they wouldn't come to Scotland. Well, that fox is well and truly shot, as the national records from Scotland have shown. There is net migration into Scotland, more than people who are leaving. So let's not hear any more about that rubbish. But I'll end, Mr Deputy Speaker, with a plea to my colleagues. We want to work with them. We want to ensure that we get the Scottish solutions to Scottish problems. And it's now up to them. They have the power. They have the responsibility. They can make these changes. Get our immigration sorted out, and for goodness sake, back us tonight in the lobby so we could do something about child poverty in Scotland.